How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Wolves, and welcome back to a brand new transfer news and rumours video all about Wolves today. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe, and as always, be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's only been, I think it's bang on a week since my last update video, but there's plenty more rumours and news to sort of sink our teeth into. Obviously, not much going on with the club itself with international break going on, but some good performances by some players, lots of first teamers and even under 23s getting opportunities. Theo Corbiano scoring on his Canada debut last night. Connor Cody even having the captain's armband for the majority of the second half in England's win over San Marino as well. So things are looking good for the club during the international break. But we're going to kick off with some transfer rumours today. As always, guys, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know your thoughts on these rumours in the comment section down below. But we'll kick off with the first one, and it's all about the Sevilla winger Lucas Ocampos. He has been, according to Football Insider, he's on the radar for Wolves as they plan to strengthen the wing areas in the summer. A number of wingers are going to be mentioned in today's video, but Lucas Ocampos is one that Wolves have been linked with before. The name may ring a bell because he was the Sevilla player who scored the goal to knock us out of the Europa League last season. You look at his stats this season, been pretty much a regular for Sevilla. He has played 36 games overall for the Spanish club in all competitions. He's grabbed 7 goals and got 4 assists as well. But a very, very decent player. Very much coming towards his prime now at 26 years of age as well. He was very highly rated when he sort of was in France a number of years ago. But he slowly sort of found sort of the level that he wants to be at now, and this would be a major coup for Wolves. A lot of people seem to be thinking that Adama will be let go in the summer, and then that someone like a Campos will be the replacement, but a very good calibre of player, and that was Football Insider that said a Campos is firmly on Wolves' radar for the summer. But another winger that has been subject to transfer talk is Pedro Neto. We know this has been a massive season for him. Last year was sort of his breakthrough season, but it took a long while before we sort of saw the best of Pedro Neto, I feel. He was quite a rough gem almost. You knew there was a player in there, but we couldn't quite see it last year. But this season, you know, he's taken the role of Jota. He's matured as a player. And I think all we need to see of him is just a little bit more in front of goal. And then I think we'll have the perfect player. But when you got a player like Pedro Neto topping all the stats for under 21 players in the Premier League, beating the likes of Phil Foden in most stats, Saka, and so on, you know you're going to get attention on him. And according to The Sun, Manchester United are plotting a transfer move for Neto. It sounds like they've given up on Jadon Sancho, who's obviously playing for Borussia Dortmund. But Pedro Neto, according to The Sun, United want to pay around £50 million for Neto, which of course would be the club's record sale. But I think we know we could probably get a little bit more for Neto. So that's definitely one. I think there's going to be loads of rumours this summer. So yeah, be aware and be ready for that. Pedro Neto, I think, is going to be subject to a lot of transfer rumours. But the latest one, Neto to Manchester United. There's been little whispers about it for the last month or so, but we'll keep our eye on that one for sure. Talking about a player now possibly leaving the club permanently, Ruben Van Gray, who of course has had a strange old season, didn't quite hit the heights that people wanted him to hit whilst at Wolves over the last year or so. So he was loaned out at the start of the season to Greek club Olympiacos and had a little bit of a nightmare in Greece, to be honest. So Wolves cancelled that and loaned him out to trusted friends over in Portugal, Famalicão, and he's had a really decent run there since January. He's put in some really good performances. I think he started sort of the last 10 or 11 games in a row, and now a couple of clubs are going to be coming knocking. This had to be a successful loan move for Wolves, because if they wanted to sell Van Gray, this had to be a successful one to keep his value high. And it's said today by Arbola, a pretty big source in Portugal, that Benfica are a club that are interested in looking at Van Gray. So at the moment, they're just looking at him. No sort of official no official conversations have been had just yet about Van Gray. But when you're a young Portuguese player, probably knows he's not going to get a shout ahead of a couple of the players at Wolves at the moment. And Benfica, one of the biggest teams in Portugal, are interested. I think, obviously, for Van Gray, that could be a big move, and obviously allow Wolves to get their money back plus more. I think we'll make a decent profit on him if he were to be sold in the summer. A new player as well that has been linked with Wolves today is Fiorentina forward Christian Kouame. That was from La Nacional, I think it is, or Nacione. Nacione is better. Fiorentina striker Christian Kouame. Apparently Wolves, he has been attracting attention from Wolves, and that could be one of our summer signings. Now, he's a young striker, I believe he's about 23 years of age, and he's more or less sort of second choice forward, not quite the first choice forward for the Italian club right now. A lot of people straight away, you'll click his stats and have a look at how he's been getting on this season. He has only scored 2 goals in all competitions, but the percentage of games he started are under 30%. So he's not actually starting that many games. We saw that when Raul Jimenez signed. I mean, I'm not saying this guy's going to be good as Jimenez, but we saw that when Jimenez signed, his stats were a little bit skewed because he was coming off the bench a lot and not actually sort of goals per game wasn't that great, but when you look at goals per minute, it was a little bit better. So you look at Christian Kouame, I think it's 27 games overall, scoring 2 goals, but most of those being as a substitute and actually starting, less than 25% of the games for Fiorentina this season. So can play all across the front three, which is always handy for Wolves, having that little bit of versatility and in Ivory Coast international. So again, we'll keep our eye on that one throughout the summer. One that I like the look of as well, Willian Carvalho, the Real Betis midfielder, has been linked with Wolves a little bit in the past, purely because, it's a Portuguese player looking for his way out. Oh, easy link with Wolves. But right at the end of the January window, it said that Wolves made a late approach to sign him, but Betis didn't really want to give him up in January. But it looks like finally he will be leaving the Spanish club this summer. Wolves and Leicester reportedly still hold an interest in the midfielder, who is likely to be sold in the summer. I think there's been whispers, nothing concrete, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. There's been whispers that João Moutinho could be going in the summer, and if he does, I think Carvalho would be a very decent player to bring in a bit of a powerhouse in the middle, something that we've really been lacking, especially this season as well. Right then, Dion Sanderson, a lot of talk about him right now as well. The old headline that he's a Rolls Royce of a defender. That's what Lee Johnson, the Sunderland manager, said a number of weeks ago. But that seems to be coming up on every headline now. But he's doing well at Sunderland in League One. Of course, he was out on loan at Cardiff last season, who ended up getting the playoffs. So I was quite surprised when he sort of dropped down to League One this season. Took him a long while to break into the team, but when Lee Johnson came in, he finally found his place, and he's been fantastic and not looked back since. But because of his good form, he's been linked with a number of clubs, Premier League clubs, like lower Premier League clubs sniffing around him as well, and a number of Championship clubs. And after this season, he has only got 1 year left on his contract. Now, I saw a value the other day, before this article was even released, that Wolves valued him at about £2 million. And the Daily Mail have posted that Sunderland are hoping to open negotiations with Wolves to sign Dion Sanderson for £2 million. Now, in my opinion, I don't think he would leave to join Sunderland unless they were in the Championship. So maybe they're just getting a deal in principle to see, if they get promoted, they may be able to sign him or get him back on loan with an option to buy. Daily Mail think, Wolves will be selling Dion Sanderson this summer for around £2 million. But I think, a strong end to the season for him. And if, obviously, Sunderland get promoted, I think Wolves could definitely demand a little bit more for that, for a young defender. Lots of people want to see him play, but we'll cast, a few weeks back, I said the same thing about Max Kilman. You cannot want this club to go on to be a top 6 or top 4 team in the next couple of years and expect the likes of Dion Sanderson and Max Kilman to be in and around the squad. As much as we like to, the club is ruthless now. They're getting rid of players that, they're okay, to players that are good enough. Maybe not this season, you could argue that. But in previous years, we saw the likes of a number of players get sold and everyone was like, what are you doing? And, it worked out to be okay. So whatever happens, I'll trust the board on that one. But Dion Sanderson will be a man in demand in summer. Another winger, like I said, the theme of the video was wingers really. Another winger that has been linked with the club is Francisco Trincao from Barcelona. He's a Portuguese winger. I believe he played for Braga previously. And I think Leicester in the summer were trying really hard to get him on loan with an option to buy from Barcelona, who weren't having it. But Wolves have been linked and touted as a possible destination for the winger this summer, mainly because Barcelona are in so much debt and they're going to have a mass clear out. They're wanting a huge rebuild in the summer, and players like Trincao, I think Griezmann was another one as well, and Umtiti, just big players that are sort of linked with a move away from Barcelona, but Trincao has been touted to move to Wolves. Again, it might be the Portuguese link, but that would be a phenomenal signing. That was via El Confidencial in Spain about that one. And the final rumour of today's video is that Wolves have been keeping tabs on a number of Bristol City players. This came from the Bristol Post. Wolves have had scouts at a number of Bristol City games this season and keeping tabs on a trio of players including Tyreek Bakinson, Antoine Semenyo and Han Noah Masenjo. If I'm honest, I don't know a huge amount about these players. I know Masenjo is pretty highly rated, but that will be one that we can keep our eyes on as well throughout the summer. Fingers crossed though, some of these do come to fruition. Any of the players that I mentioned today, guys, let me know if they tickle you fancy. Hopefully next week I'll be back with some different type of content, and of course the football we'll be back soon. I don't think we play next week, do we? It might be the week after. But yeah, fingers crossed we see some, got some interviews lined up and some different type of videos that I'm sure you guys will enjoy. But as always, be sure to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you all very, very soon.